Thank you so much for joining me today. If you would be so kind, please make sure to like this video, share this video all over your social media, and if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Now, I want to get right into this video. We have a lot to talk about today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the economy. I want to talk a little bit more about this fire in Los Angeles, the storm that affected North Carolina. And please comment down below on any of this stuff. I want to know your thoughts on this. But I will start this video by saying this. Welcome to the jungle, ladies and gentlemen. Only the strong survive. And people are beginning to realize that when an emergency, when a disaster breaks out, they're pretty much on their own. And luckily, people are helping people, because if they were not, this thing would be a lot worse than it is now in North Carolina and in Los Angeles. And you know, there are still people that will comment, and they're free to do so. You're free to judge me. You can say this is doom and gloom. You can say this is negativity. You can say I'm exaggerating. But we all know that you are the most scared people, the most insecure people, and the most unprepared people. In fact, I think Appalachia's Homestead, Patera, did a video on this a few weeks ago, talking about these same exact people. The most insecure people are the ones that always want to judge, always want to call doom and gloom, negativity. I will say this, as we begin to see more disasters in America, man-made and natural, more of these same people who judged you, called you negative, said this was all doom and gloom, these are going to be the most scared people, the most chaotic people, and the people that run to you and knock on your door, asking you, begging you for help. Again, you can judge me all you want. I'm trying to prepare the best that I can. I'm trying to walk closer to God. I'm trying to get my ducks in a row. Not perfect. I could do more, absolutely. But watching these storms, watching these fires, watching this economy, it is a telltale sign that things are about to get much worse. But again, you can see right through the insecurities of these people. And I wish they would spend less time judging other people and more time preparing, because I don't want to see anybody lose. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I want to see everybody get through this. I want to see people successful, and I want to see people prosper, not lose at all, not get hurt. But again, welcome to the jungle. And these people are going to learn a valuable lesson that only the strong do survive, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. So walk the walk, ladies and gentlemen. Now, getting into some of these articles, feel free to comment down below. This first one from The Hedge. Palisades fire threatens new upscale communities as Santa Ana winds return. I apologize if you hear some wind here today. It is blowing about 20-25 miles per hour here in Palm Desert. Hopefully it's not affecting the audio too bad. But they are calling for winds to pick up this evening in Los Angeles all the way to Wednesday. Now, the Palisades fire is 11% contained. This fire has burned over 23,000 acres. The Eaton fire, 27% contained. It has burned over 14,000 acres. And there's some smaller fires now that have been mostly contained. But if these winds start getting up to 20, 25, you start having 40, 50 mile an hour gusts, this could change everything. So pray for these people. But they are calling for winds to increase this evening. They're worried about the neighborhoods of Brentwood, Bel Air, Sherman Oaks, and West Los Angeles, putting them at severe risk right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I want to say one thing. Arson is not climate change. Arson is not climate change. We've seen one individual arrested riding around with a blowtorch. Another woman, I think, was arrested yesterday starting fires. So people are being arrested for starting fires. They're being arrested for looting. It's unbelievable what we're watching take place. Now, there's another article on The Hedge today, lessons from the Los Angeles fires. And these are our 4 good lessons. Number 1, in matters of life or death, hire solely based on merit, not DEI. Perfect, right? Makes sense. 2, if you're the mayor, don't go to Africa when you've been warned that your city is at risk of a disaster. That's another really good idea, right? I mean, this is just very simple stuff. 3, elect people based on competency. Another simple idea. 4, fill your reservoirs. Don't worry about the smelt. Worry about the people, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, if we just followed simple thinking, common sense, this really could have been avoided and minimized, in my opinion. Here's another one from The Hedge. A message to all Americans from storm-ravaged Western North Carolina. I will never forget when we went out there, met with Patera of Appalachia's Homestead. If you don't watch her channel, make sure you watch her channel. Her husband, James, phenomenal people. Hopefully we'll see them again this summer. But it was eye-opening to actually walk in these areas and see the devastation of what a natural disaster. You can argue what kind of disaster it was, but it was a disaster. And it was something to walk through these towns and to see what had taken place. Somebody said, we aren't rich, and most of us aren't movie stars. I will say this about the people in North Carolina. They're tough. They're resilient. And not to judge the people in Los Angeles, but I'm watching, a lot of the videos, a lot of the news of the people, the celebrities, and they're hysterical. And look, you can't blame anybody for losing their house to be hysterical. But watching all the videos that I watch and actually spending some time in North Carolina, Tennessee, there's a difference with these people. The people in North Carolina just seem tougher, more resilient. Again, I don't want to compare people. I'm not taking anything away from the people of Los Angeles. A lot of people have come together, really help one another. But just from all the hundreds and hundreds of videos I've watched from both areas, the people in North Carolina just seem to be much, much more resilient than the people of Los Angeles. Again, not judging, not being critical here. I have empathy, compassion for the people in Los Angeles, the pets, everybody. It's got to be absolutely devastating to lose your home, whether you're in North Carolina or you're in Los Angeles. So again, don't want to judge anybody, and I'm praying for everybody, North Carolina to Los Angeles, and we all should be, and pray for everybody, for recovery and for everybody's safety. 105 days since the storm, we're still supplying our own camps, our shelters, while paying mortgages on piles of rubble. We're still running our own supply hubs for many people that lost everything, including homes and jobs. This is North Carolina. This is still going on. We have a polar vortex slamming Western North Carolina while people go through 10 gallons of propane a night. And hopefully, they're going to be able to get their next tank. So while millions of people, while the nation's eyes are focused now on what's happening in Los Angeles, we have thousands of families in North Carolina, homeless, spending cold nights in makeshift shelters, campers, and tents. The lucky ones are able to stay at a Motel 6, a cheap motel that FEMA gave them a little bit, of the crumbs. But that's going to run out soon for a lot of those people too, because FEMA's broke. This is absolutely sickening, ladies and gentlemen, that the people in North Carolina, in my opinion, have completely been forgotten about. But now you have the ultra millionaires, billionaires, the celebrities getting all this attention. Again, my heart goes out to these people. There's a lot of good people in Los Angeles, so I'm not judging anybody. But we cannot forget about the people in North Carolina. There's good people there, and they're being forgotten. So let me know your thoughts on this. Are they being treated differently? We shall see. There's a lot of talk that that the people in Los Angeles are going to get what they need, the resources that they need immediately. We shall see. We shall see. Talk is cheap. I think that it's going to be years of lawsuits. I think a city like Pacific Palisades now is going to be completely bankrupt. Hundreds of millions of dollars of tax revenue, property tax, is just been burned to the ground. Some of these cities are done. California is going to feel the pain. Multimillionaires are going to feel the pain. It would take decades to rebuild what has happened. It's going to take years for the first home to even be rebuilt, with the bureaucracy, the permits, the lawsuits. The insurance companies are going to blame the city. The city will blame the federal government. The federal government will blame the city. This is going to go round and round for years. So it's going to be a complete disaster. And think about the real estate disaster in Los Angeles. If you're a real estate agent in Los Angeles now, you just lost a lot of homes that you're not going to be able to sell. A lot of these listing agents who, some of these high-end real estate companies that had many, many listings in these areas, the listings are gone. So this is going to affect the bottom line of a lot of real estate companies and realtors in this part of Los Angeles. Jobs report and AI. Basically, it's all garbage in, garbage out. This on the hedge. Markets reacted poorly on Friday to the job numbers. No one believes the data, but everyone believes that the Fed will need to react to the data. That's how they do it. Now the Fed is in a real bind because we got these magnificent job numbers. I think we added 256,000 jobs in December. What is the Fed going to do? The Fed's going to do nothing. The Fed's not going to cut rates. They're not going to raise rates. They're going to sit still. And I would not be shocked to see the Fed in 2025 have to raise rates. A whopping 98.7% of analysts had estimates below the official number. So how could so many smart people and so many well-resourced people be so wrong? Isn't it interesting? Do you believe the data? I don't. I think this data is a bunch of garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. And the problem here too is when you're getting bad data as an investor or somebody making decisions, economic, financial decisions, how can you make a qualified decision when the stats and the data are completely manipulated and a big fat lie? This is going to really put, I think, a lot of people in jeopardy because they're believing one thing in regards to the data when the data is completely rigged. And so people are making decisions on this data. They're believing it. You're not believing it. I'm not believing it. Vast devaluation of dollar coming in 2025. Craig Hemke, he was on Greg Hunter's show. And just if you get a chance, watch it. Just a couple quick little points here. When Nixon cut off the gold window in 1971, you could buy a 400-ounce gold bar for $11,000. Today, that same gold bar would cost over $1.1 million. Greg Hemke says global central banks, China, Russia, Poland, Turkey, India, etc., are taking their U.S. dollar reserves and buying physical gold. I cannot stress enough the importance of owning real things. I don't sit here and give financial advice. I never would tell anybody what to do. People say, oh, if you would have told people this, or you would have told people that, these people would be rich. If you told them this, they would be rich. I don't tell anybody to do anything. I share every day with all of you what I'm doing, what my circle of friends are doing, what my family members are doing. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I would never do that. I know there's a lot of people out here that like to, tell people to buy this, buy that, buy this, junior stock, buy this mining stock, buy this. I wouldn't do that. It's very, very risky. And I do not want to be responsible for anybody losing their money. I will say this, gold and silver will never be worth zero. That's why I believe people should own it. I think it should be part of your portfolio because it has never been worth zero in 5,000 years. It can never be worth zero like so much garbage out there. Again, you can buy digital money, you can buy the cryptos, you can buy baseball cards, you can buy junior stocks, you can gamble all you want, but at the end of the day, you are gambling. I have to preserve my wealth. I buy real things. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. So I do believe that people should buy some gold and silver. If you need help with that, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Also, everything we're watching taking place on the East Coast, the West Coast, the looting, the devastation, and people finding out that they're on their own. Make sure you have security. Make sure you're adding to your skill sets. Make sure you have a trauma kit, a tourniquet. Make sure you have food and water put away. Have a way to heat that food up. Have real things. Make sure you have a good blade, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot stress this stuff enough. TCAL knives, link down below. Make sure you're adding, to your preparations, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just food, water, and gold. Make sure that you know how to operate, that you have the right tools, and make sure you have a good blade. You have tools, you have tourniquets, you have all this stuff. This stuff is so important. And I don't care where you buy your gold from. I don't care where you buy a blade from. That's completely up to you. I'm just recommending where I've been buying my stuff from for years, period. So if I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't recommend it to you. That's the bottom line. So if you need this stuff, go to the link down below. But these countries, these central banks are buying gold. So maybe they know something and maybe you should be preparing. National Association of Realtors membership dips below 1.5 million. Will losses continue? Yes, they're going to continue. It's going to get much worse. If we look at the numbers, they lost 38.7 thousand realtors in January of 2024. They lost over 25,000 realtors in December of 2024 last month. How are these people paying their bills that are selling real estate? You know, it was just a year, 2, 3 years ago, watching these people on social media, showing us the new pools, their new cars, their weekend vacations, their $25 martinis, their steak dinners, and now they can't sell a house. And so instead of putting money away, saving some money, everybody wants to be a big shot and show everybody else what they're eating and drinking. And now there's a price to pay, ladies and gentlemen. Things are turning around 180 degrees here. So if you're an agent in Los Angeles, wow, you are really going to feel the pain. But it is a national pain. If you look at the national numbers, the real estate market, sales have been absolutely decimated. 41% of companies worldwide plan to reduce workforces by 2030 due to AI. You better learn some skills, because a lot of people, whether they want to realize this or not, they are replaceable. They are non-essential. You're going to see I think a lot of government workers lose their jobs in 2025, and you're certainly going to see people maybe in the warehousing, restaurants. They're going to lose jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Plain and simple. That's how it's going to be. So make sure you're learning how to do stuff. Add some skills. Figure it out, because if your job is replaceable, it's only a matter of time. It might be 2 years from now. You're working for the government. It's probably going to be within a year. But where are you going to be in 3, 4, or 5 years? What could you be adding right now and learning right now as far as skills? There won't be money for Social Security. Elon Musk tells Joe Rogan about looming bankruptcy and $1.1 trillion interest. That's what we're paying in interest on the debt right now. And the sun's starting to set behind the trees here. Sorry, it's getting a little dark. But I just bring this up. This was a while back. But I bring this up because it is, again, another example of the mismanagement of not just Los Angeles or North Carolina. It is the mismanagement of the entire country, the entire system. People believe, and I hope that they're right, that their pensions are going to be there for them in 10 years, that Social Security is going to be there for them in 10 years. I'm not so sure, because I think we're going to see a completely different landscape here in America in the next 10 years. Where is the money going? We cannot even take care of our own people, yet we're writing checks and sending them all over the world, yet people are freezing in North Carolina. People are now homeless in Los Angeles, and that is a disaster that is just beginning. Now, wait till the insurance companies get involved, the whole bond issue, the tax revenue issue, the lawsuits issue. It's going to be a complete disaster, and it's going to have to be settled, I think, politically. Because if you continue to vote the same type of people in who just look out for themselves and line their own pockets and have these agendas, and they don't care about you, they don't care about your safety, they don't care about your future, then you're going to get what you deserve. When are people going to wake up and smell the coffee? When are they going to demand accountability and change? Maybe this is what it takes, that these multimillionaires lose everything. Again, I have empathy and compassion for all people. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody, but if you keep voting this kind of garbage, now it's going to happen to you, and now you're going to feel the pain. You're going to pay the price for this, just like the people in North Carolina are. So this has got to be just straightened out. The American people don't deserve this, should never allow to have gotten this bad. And we have people suffering in North Carolina. We have people suffering in Los Angeles. Say a prayer for these people. It is just an absolute tragedy. And look, we have an inauguration in what, 8, 9 days? It's going to get very, very interesting. Could something happen before then? Could something happen right after? I think we're going to see a lot of action here in 2025. So make sure that you have your gear, make sure that you have your finances in order, get the debts paid down, make sure you have some barterable items, make sure you have a cash reserve outside of the system, make sure that you have some gold and silver outside of the system, and make sure that you continue to stay on track. Stay focused, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get complacent. Don't get lazy. There's a lot to come in 2025. Be careful out there. God bless America. God bless every one of you. Take care. Be safe.